Cunningham, handoff Johnson, into a triple team, out to Clark, 3 more!
Carolina.
Clark fire away and hits a 3!
Caitlin Clark missed the entire Portland game 3 days ago due to back pain and her inability to walk straight on a basketball floor. Additionally, Stephanie White was asked directly through a microphone, "How is Caitlin Clark's back?" prior to this Golden State game.
Is she injured? I guess is a fair question. Is she injured? Or is it something other than an injury?
With the most uncomfortable expression you have ever seen on a head coach's face, White turned to face the camera and offered the kind of response that, while technically saying something, says nothing at all. Black small square the body language of someone who either doesn't fully understand or doesn't want to express it is evasive and vague.
Is she injured? I guess is a fair question. Is she injured? Or is it something other than an injury?
Her back is sore.
Then last night, Clark went to the floor. The most spectacular individual performance of the 2026 WNBA season thus far had place after Golden State went out to an 8-point lead.
See Hull doing it all on that defensive possession. Clark, oh, from another stratosphere!
Technical foul, a flagrant foul, 4 threes, 22 points, 9 assists, and a 29-17 third quarter that essentially killed Golden State before they realized what was going on.
Left with her left hand.
Clark just spins away from Hayes, fades, fires, and hits.
What a tough two.
Caitlin Clark simply reminded everyone in that building, and every coach in this league of who they are dealing with after the Indiana Fever lost 90-82. This is simply explained. Subscribe now and hit the like button if you want every game broken down with no filters. Now let's get started. Since the Stephanie White press conference established the tone for everything that came after, let's start with that.
Matchup starting to heat up. Clark on the drive, draws the foul, banks it home, and one for Caitlin Clark.
A reporter directly questioned White about Clark's physical state before to the game. Black small square just wondering how she's doing. What can we anticipate from her this evening? Additionally, White's response was a master class in useless commentary.
Steph, what is your reaction to getting a warning from the league as a team for the injury report involving Caitlin? Medical questions, we can defer that to the medical team. We, to my knowledge, don't have access to talk to them.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't disclose anything that's not already disclosed by our medical team and by our franchise.
She discussed keeping an eye on the situation. Black small square, she mentioned paying attention to the medical personnel. She discussed exercising caution. Black small square, she did not state that Clark was all right. She made no mention of Clark's limitations. Clark's performance on the floor last night was all the more impressive since she offered the response of someone who wishes to keep the injury status unclear, and the entire delivery was so obviously uncomfortable that it instantly became the pregame talk.
Tell exactly what happened there as Clark bounces inside for Boston.
Good patience.
She played like someone who had been imprisoned in a room for a week before being freed, regardless of what was going on with that back. Whether it was completely healed, somewhat managed, or simply tied up and put out there on competitive will alone. Black small square Caitlin Clark completely let loose on a Golden State team that arrived believing they had a chance to win on the road. Black small square, no controlling, no prudence, no minute constraints.
Clark, oh, beautiful find, inside for Cunningham, and one!
They had no realistic chance. They simply were unaware of it at the time. Black small square experiencing the first quarter. Indiana prevailed 19-18 in the first quarter. One thing, nothing that hinted at what was about to happen. From the first possession, Clark was in full red and react mode. Black small square just playing basketball, not trying to prove the back was okay, not forcing anything. Black small square for someone who had just missed a game due to a physical ailment. She was pushing pace in transition, locating the proper pass, and putting her legs under her in a way that seemed entirely natural. Golden State had a strong first quarter. They appeared to have a solid game plan since they were keeping it close, moving the ball and identifying holes in Indiana's defense. Early on, Tiffany Hayes was active. Without providing Clark with the open looks she had been converting at high rates in her previous performances, the Valkyries' defense was making her work for everything. Black small square a game with 1 point in the conclusion. Truly open competition. Nothing was decided. There is still more to come. Golden State takes control in the second quarter. At this point, Indiana's game became truly complex, and Clark's comeback story nearly became a new kind of headline.
Starting a game out relatively fast, and then in the second quarter, we give up a lead. Caitlin Clark and the Fever showed out in the third quarter with a 29-17 showing. The big three showed up. Aliyah Boston, 20 points on 8 of 15, 16 boards, 3 blocks.
In the second quarter, Golden State outscored Indiana 26-18. The bench of the Valkyrie blew up. After coming off the bench, Caitlin Chen's conversion rate was 64%. Tiffany Hayes continued to establish her niche. Indiana's defense had no clear response to the Valkyrie's rotation players, and Golden State's second unit finished the game with 43 bench points, indicating that their depth was a real factor. Black small square Golden State's largest advantage of the game was 8 points by the halfway mark of the second quarter. After Clark's return, the boisterous gathering at Gainbridge began to quiet down. Indiana appeared disorganized. Black small square, the defensive rotations were failing. The crisp looks that had characterized their previous 2 victories were not being produced by the offense. For a portion of the second quarter, Clark was on the ground and struggling. There were the reads. They were making the passes. However, Golden State's defensive strategy forced her to exert more effort every step of the way. And no one broke through the wall when Indiana needed someone to. With Golden State up at halftime, the entire storyline of the game abruptly changed. Even though Caitlin Clark is healthy and playing in her first game following a back injury, her team is behind at the half against a squad that had one of the weakest rosters in the league at the beginning of the season. Black small square, the questions were starting to form. The worry was genuine. After that, the teams returned for the third quarter. Clark ruins everything in the third quarter. Indiana. Black small square third quarter, 29-17. This merits that level of scrutiny, so let's go through what transpired possession by possession. Black small square, there was a noticeable change in Clark's body language as soon as Indiana entered the second half. She was no longer easing into material items. She was going after the first one. In transition, she accelerated quickly, getting the ball up the floor before Golden State's defense had a chance to set up, and she executed a fast break that immediately energized the building. Black small square Indiana scored 6 fast break points on 2 tries for the evening, both of which occurred in the third quarter when the team needed to gain momentum. The threes then began. With a hand that hardly reached her release point, Clark scored her first 3-pointer in the third quarter. The type of shot that is made when a player is locked in at an undefendable level. The audience responded. In an attempt to restart the defensive strategy, Golden State called a timeout. It made no difference. With the composure of someone who has fully taken control of the game's emotional frequency, Clark drove downhill on Indiana's next significant possession, drew the foul, and strolled to the line. She became a convert. Golden State came down and failed. Even before the miss had finished bouncing, Clark was accelerating once more. Black small square at that point, Caitlin Clark's identity as a person and a competitor became clear. She was given a technical foul. Black small square, the precise circumstances surrounding it are debatable. Whether she responded to whatever a defender did, whether the call was appropriate, and whether the official escalated the situation too quickly. Black small square, what she did right away is undeniable. Black small square, like the tech had happened in a separate building to a different person. She spun around, set up the next play, and made the next correct basketball selection. The most obvious manifestation of the goldfish mentality is something happened. She overlooked it. She went on. Then there were 2 egregious foul occurrences in the same quarter. She was the target of 2 official actions. There are 2 instances where a subpar player emotionally leaves the game and spends the remainder of the evening thinking about the officials. Clark continued to cook while processing both. The same fire that caused those accidents also caused Indiana to score 29 points in a single quarter. You get the other if you take one. There isn't a version in which they are separated. Every defensive attention shift that Clark produced benefited Aliyah Boston. Black small square with Golden State collapsing on Clark at the 3-point line and in the paint, and Indiana's defense behind her, Boston was cleaning up the glass and receiving feeds in the post with just 1 defender. Due of Clark's gravitational pull, she had numerous second-chance opportunities at the end of the quarter. Black small square. Boston and Clark collaborated flawlessly during the third quarter. Black small square Boston converted the results, while Clark created the confusion. In the third quarter, Golden State scored 17 points. 17 black small square when Clark declared the game over. A team that had scored 26 points in the second quarter was down to 17. After 3 quarters, Indiana was ahead and the outcome was certain. Finally, the fourth quarter, Indiana 24, Golden State 21. The Fever won the fourth quarter without ever fully applying pressure because they didn't need to. The lead felt at ease. Instead of hunting shots, Clark was dispersing them. Boston was guarding the glass. Mitchell was drawing penalties. The entirety of Kelsey Mitchell's effort in the fourth quarter came at the free throw line, which was just what Indiana needed from a player in a closing role. On the night, he shot 4 out of 10 from the field and was 11 of 11 from the line, perfect with not a single miss. Black small square, this player knows that attacking contact and getting to the line is the most valuable thing you can do when your shot isn't falling. Mitchell received 5 fouls. Each and every free throw was made. Black small square 19 points in a supporting role that prioritizes efficiency and intensity over volume shooting. Tiffany Hayes and Veronica Burton of Golden State continued to compete until the final buzzer. Hayes scored 19 points on 7 of 13 shots, while Burton finished with 17 points while collecting 6 fouls. However, the Valkyries' starting lineup shot 37% from the field as a whole, and no amount of bench output can make up for that level of inefficiency, even against a club that has Indiana's best players. Indiana 90, Golden State 82, final buzzer.
This may have been the night that Caitlin Clark put the league on notice. But the Fever got the win, and Caitlin Clark, once again, pretty much put this team on her back and rode it to victory.
The complete analysis of Clark. Black small square 22 points, 7 of 15 from the field, or 47%. Black small square 4 out of 9, or 44%. From the free throw line, 4 out of 5. 6 fast break points on 2 tries, 8 fouls drawn, and 9 assists. 1 egregious foul, 1 technical foul. The number that continues to gain importance every week is the 4 of 9 from 3. After the early season setbacks, Clark has now had 3 straight games of outstanding three-point shooting. Black small square, the entire league was making real-time adjustments to their scouting reports when she was shooting 20% from beyond the arc. Black small square daring her to beat them from a distance. He loaded up on paint and sagged off her. That tactic is now totally out of date. Black small square 44% from 3 on 9 attempts in a game she nearly missed due to a back ailment is the kind of performance that simultaneously resets every defensive strategy in the league. Black small square, the 9 assists continue a trend this season that is changing our perception of her as a player. She is more than just a passing shot. Her passing vision operates at a speed that no defense in this league has been able to consistently match, making her a true floor general. Over her last 2 games, she has contributed 22 assists. Because Clark has already read their direction and released the ball, her teammates are not only open when they cut, but they are open before they have completed their cut. The one statistic on that line that shouldn't be and won't be praised is 6 turnovers. The turnovers are an inevitable consequence of Clark's fast and instinctive style black small square. However, 6 turnovers will be severely penalized against the New York Liberty, Indiana's next opponent, a squad with a real defensive infrastructure and superior perimeter pressure. It is the only change that needs to be made. Black small square, the overall picture. Black small square Indiana Fever 2 and 5. The final possessions determined both of the OT defeats. Black small square, the 5 victories have become more complete and more dominant. Black small square Clark is doing well. Boston finished last night with 20 points, 16 rebounds, and back-to-back double-doubles. With an offensive rating of 122 and a defensive rating of 84, she is in the elite two-way impact category, which is only attainable by the top players in this league. Even on cold shooting nights, Mitchell is drawing fouls at a rate that results in 19 points. The system is operational. Black small square Stephanie White was clearly embarrassed when she answered a question regarding Caitlin Clark's physical state in front of the camera prior to this game. Black small square, whatever she was unsure about, whatever she was handling behind the scenes, the player overcame it by going onto the court and playing 40 minutes of outstanding basketball, including a technical foul, a flagrant foul, 9 assists, and 4 threes in a third quarter that broke Golden State's spirit and sent Gainbridge into the kind of commotion that only one player in women's basketball can produce. The New York Liberty are on their way. Caitlin Clark just made it clear to the entire WNBA how prepared she is for the actual test, which is in 1 week. 2 and 5. She has returned, all the way back, and the league ought to be really concerned. Black small square, stay locked with my channel, simply explained.